Do you want to support me while also getting some cool WWE swag? Well, now you can, because I am an affiliate of WWEshop.com. Just head to the link in the description of this video, click that little bad boy, and it will bring up WWE Shop. Purchase as normal, whether it's shirts, whether it's championship titles, whether it's memorabilia, anything you want on WWE Shop, as long as you use my link, because doing so will give me a commission off your purchase. Therefore, you can support me and rep the WWE's latest swag all throughout their shop. So just head to the link in the description of this video, purchase as normal, and you're also supporting me.
To get the go that time. I was trying to come in quick.
I'm my hair, so it's all right. I just had a shower.
Yeah. I was just watching pointless YouTube videos. Yeah. I was watching this radio station I listen to. When I say radio station, the radio show I listen to, it's a breakfast show in Nashville. They do a segment each week called Blind Karaoke, where they pick a song, they don't get the words, and they've just got to see who can do it best.
Oh.
So they did like the early 2000s edition this morning. So there was like Bop, All the Small Things by Blink, Mumbo Number 5, and Smash Mouth All-Star.
Right on.
They didn't do very well.
Yeah, well, although I say I love like karaoke songs, but I've never actually been to karaoke in my entire life. But that's somewhere I would think I would thrive, because I just love music in general. But like attention, music, you can kind of be a bit shit and it's kind of just fine.
Yeah.
So I would love karaoke. What's your go-to karaoke jam?
Or I think mine would be like Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks.
Oh, God. Yep. Right on. That sounds like something you would like.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine would be, but it would be something like left field. Like I'd sing like Linger by the Cranberries or something like that, you know? Like maybe something wild.
Maybe a Blink song would be all right, because everyone would get involved with it. Do you know what I mean?
And you could just kind of yell and just kind of like have a good time. Like no one is going, you don't be that person that goes to a karaoke bar and sings like Mariah Carey or Adele or something like that. Don't be that person. Sing something left of field that you can cut beat shit and it's fine. Yeah. Also, you don't want to be that person that's like at karaoke that's like, oh, I'm shit. And then when you get up there, you're kind of half decent. And it's like, no one wants to see that person at karaoke.
No one cares about you. Just stop.
No.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else and do that. We're not here for that. But yeah, like Linger by like the Cranberries is like, I know that's such a random ass song, but like what a damn song that is, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I said that of all things, but maybe like Torn.
Oh, Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just that guitar starts and then you sing that? Like, oh, I'd be into that. Maybe Torn.
What about Missy Higgins, like a Scar or something?
Steer, what a great song that is. Missy Higgins. I'm into Missy Higgins. I mean, I would like to, as a person who used to be able to play the piano, I can't really play it anymore. But if I could learn Scar by Missy Higgins on the piano, you know, that's just like that's like an Australian theme, isn't it? It's like an anthem of ours, that song.
Yeah, I was actually listening. I was watching something on the weekend actually about Missy Higgins. It was very random that I was watching a Missy Higgins thing, and there was lots of things that I just didn't know about her.
Is she still?
Oh, she's still doing the damn thing. She's still doing the damn thing.
Okay. Good for her.
Not to a level that, you know.
No, like Scar and Steer. The Special 2, remember the Special 2?
Yes, I know. She
banger.
She opened for Ed Sheeran when I seen Ed Sheeran at Adelaide Oval, I think.
I mean, I actually like that kind of goes, her music and his music, it kind of goes, you know.
Yeah.
I get that. It's a good little pairing. But yeah, the last time I seen Missy Higgins on anything, I feel like she opened for an AFLW game not that long ago.
That rings a bell. She did do that.
Might be making that up.
Though. Before we go any further, we have to mention, we did mention last week that Peter from the project was going to be on here.
Oh, yeah.
Circumstances have come up and he will not be here. But there was something
As you can tell.
yeah, as you can tell, he hasn't spoken. But to be fair, guests don't speak until you introduce them. So he wouldn't have been
True.
speaking yet anyway.
True.
I did want to mention on Friday in the advertiser, the project named one of SA's top podcasts, which was pretty cool.
Hell yeah, I seen that and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I got humbled the next day, hardcore.
How? How so?
So the next day was the AFLW qualifying final.
The one that we lost.
We did lose. But so I was meeting the other guys from the project at the game, and I happened to be the first one there. So I was standing there waiting. And
oh God,
on my, on a different cloud, being, one of SA's top podcasts, we've worked pretty hard. It's been a big year.
Yeah.
And I see this person walking towards me with a couple of pieces of Project merch on. Now,
oh God.
Now, lots of fans of the project, and we've got to know them, and they're very nice people. But I didn't recognize this person. So as she sort of walked up to me, I went, "Hey, how you going?" And she went, "Huh?" And just kept walking to go to the kiosk behind me.
You thought you were this big shot fucking celebrity and she didn't know who the fuck you were.
Correct. Yeah.
I wish I was there for that. I would have laughed so hard. I would have been like, here's Big Shot Ray thinking he's fucking Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And she was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. I was like, it brought me crashing back down to earth so quickly.
Holy shit, that's so amazing.
I had a couple of real humbling moments on during the week, and that one was probably the most humbling. But it did lead me to believe
so good
that it did pose the question between the lot of us that if I was to ever become a big celebrity, I'd probably become a real handful to deal with.
Yeah, you've already got tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're like member 3 of the fucking project. That's awesome. Holy shit.
The worst part was we were all standing there together at the end, and she walked past again and she still didn't bat an eyelid. I was like, maybe she just got the merch.
Yep, I think so. That's fucking awesome. Honestly, that is a great story because it's like I can picture you standing there whoa, shoulders out, chest out, you're like, here I am.
Yeah.
I know I'm on the. Yes, it is me from one of the SA's top podcasts. She didn't give a fuck.
No, she didn't even know who I was.
That's so awesome. That is really awesome. So, a couple of things before we get into the question, just while we're on the football topic and just around that. I nearly wandered over to the AFLW game on Saturday. I was in Adelaide, but then we just got lost in time, and I was like, I don't really have enough time for this. But the girls did lose, but they still got another chance.
They got another chance,
and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But anyway, I do want to talk to you. I know we're not a football podcast, and that's fine. We like football. We love footy. Everyone seems to be having an opinion on AFL's opening round that's coming up next year. They announced a 4-game thing.
I have an opinion.
I think we're gonna have an argument about it. I think.
Yeah, I do.
Which is fun. Okay, so you tell me what you think of AFL opening round, then I'll tell you what I think.
I'm not. Here's the thing, right? They're being very reactive. So the first round is split into 2. If you haven't seen it, all Queensland and New South Wales sides will be playing home games the first week, and everyone else will be having a bye because that weekend all of the NRL teams are in Las Vegas. So they've taken half of their opening round to Vegas. So the AFL's gone, I know what we can do. We can put these teams against the biggest Victorian clubs and try take all their viewers. Now, there's a reported 40,000 people from those two states going to Las Vegas that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
People that are rugby league fans aren't going to be like, oh, well, they're going to Vegas. I guess I'm going to become an AFL fan now.
Not and especially not for a week.
No,
but
exactly.
anyway.
Because next week their rugby league teams are going to be back and it's going to be business as usual. So I think the AFL is just being very reactive. It's a stupid decision. Call me crazy, but I kind of like the first round of the year. Like Richmond, Carlton at the G, two big fan bases opening the season. The only way you could sway me is to go grand final rematch. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a pointless exercise because,
I hear.
and then do you know what else it's going to do? The season ticket holders to each of those clubs that go week on, week off, home games, away games, home games, away games. One fan base is going to have to go 2 away games, and it's going to throw out all of that because it's always situated. So Brisbane are home, Gold Coast are home. There's always one there, but there's going to be an odd amount. I just don't like it. Not for the fact that they've split up the round, but I just think it's a pointless exercise.
Okay. I hear you, and I don't disagree with all of it. I disagree with some of it,
Yeah.
but don't disagree with all of it. I think it is silly in a lot of ways. First, I'll say one piece of opinion, and then I'll tie it all together, but it'll make sense at the end. So there's a lot of people in a certain... Victorians are very mad because they're like, blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with that because I do like the AFL are like trying to do something different in the sense of like, okay, everyone calls us a Victorian-based organization, so let's try and do something different. And it's very different to open up an AFL round or open up an AFL season with a game not in Victoria. I like that aspect of it. But if you're going in with that mentality, which I'm not even sure if that's the mentality, let's just say it is for argument's sake, then why not just do a full round, but you open up the round in Sydney or in Brisbane or whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to try and erase that stigma so badly of like, we're not a Victorian-based organization. It's like, okay, we'll do something different. AFL, I think, is one sport, I think, really one of the only sports in the entire world that do the same thing every year.
Mm.
And I like that there is something different because it's not the same format. It's not the same formula. Let's change things up a little bit and just see what works. Like, let's try something. The only way you know if it's going to work is if you try.
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't like the idea of it being a split round. I think that's silly. But I am for, I guess, I'm not necessarily for this, but I'm not for something different.
Yeah.
So, like, why can't we change up the who starts every year or where it starts every year? I kind of like that idea. Change up the format a little bit because it does get. Listen, it's the same thing every single year, for better or for worse.
Yeah,
it's always how it's been.
Yeah.
So it is kind of cool to open up with something different or somewhere else. But the way they've done it is like, even if you're for what I'm for or for Ray's reasons or reasons in between, who in their right mind exactly asked for this?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think, like, if you're going to do this, why put the four of the biggest Victorian teams into it? Why not make it...
Yeah, like let's spice it up.
Well, why not make it a Thursday night Q Clash and a Friday night Sydney Derby? Like,
and
like, try
let's
get both
do this.
fan bases there and all of New South Wales
and
behind
make them,
it, or Queensland behind
because
it.
then on a Thursday or Friday night it looks fantastic for television to have a full stadium, and like people are raring for footy again. So like let's put them in there. And like, I don't know why the AFL steers away from having the derby on a Friday night or the showdown on a Friday or Thursday night. Like, if you really want to try and erase that stigma, because Andrew Dillon, the new CEO of the AFL, has actually stated before that he wants to rid that kind of, paraphrasing, but stench lines of it being a Victorian-based organ. He wants to do different things and show. A way to do that is to put like a Q Clash on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Ray, but I'm the type of person that will watch any game of football whenever it's on. Like if it's on and I'm available, I'll more than likely watch it.
Yeah.
I get I'm not, that's not everybody. Some people only watch certain things and that's fine. But a Thursday night footy game, you can pretty much put anything on for the most part and people will watch it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think the AFL is... I'm not a big fan of Friday night footy. Thursday
really?
Thursday night footy.
Oh, I'm the opposite.
So
I want it every round.
no, but hear me out. I think the AFL was at its best, viewer-wise and engagement-wise, I guess you could call it, when there was Friday night footy, Saturday night, Sunday footy, but Thursday night had a set your clock, 8:30 on a Thursday night's the footy show. Everyone can have a laugh,
sure.
The teams get selected, the players are there showing a bit of their personality. If you had one of them that, if say a Channel 7, since they're the host of the footy, if they put together an absolute bitchin' Thursday night footy show, which had team selections and it got your players involved and like the old footy show used to.
And it was live.
Yeah.
Kind of that format, yeah.
Then
I
take
get
my
you.
money and, you know.
Sure. I mean, would you be opposed to, there's been rumors and rumblings going around that maybe when the rights, like new contract starts, which I think is not next year, but the year after, you know, they like had talking of rights and they extended it. There's going to be some format changes to the way certain things air and blah, blah, blah. Would you be opposed to a Sunday evening game if it started at, say, 5:30, 6 o'clock?
There's usually one anyway that starts at 4.
No, that starts at 4, but I'm talking like a Sunday, not a night game.
Twilight.
I'm not saying it needs to start at, but like a twilight.
Yeah,
but
well,
you know, a little later.
If
maybe
you're going to do that, you need to convince the Perth teams to do it, because you can do it at a 3 o'clock Perth time start.
Yeah,
and it's
and
a
then
prime time
5:30. Yeah,
it's a prime time Eastern
I got
States. And
I got you that.
You can usually set your watch to Fremantle playing Sunday afternoon. But
sure, I mean, I understand that. I'm not necessarily. I just want the AFL to do something different. One more question on football: how are you when it's I know it's usually a public holiday, but do you like Monday footy?
Again, if it's on, I'm watching it, and if it's a public holiday,
That's what I'm like
drink
too.
that bitch up. But
like, sure, like I say this, and you probably say this, Ray, but if I'm sat at a television from Friday through Sunday and I don't really have anything to do, I'll probably be watching football.
Oh yeah. If I don't have anything on, I'm watching every single game.
That's exactly how I am. So they could put it on a fucking Wednesday night and I'll complain about it, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Should we break up this footy chat? If you want to hear my football opinions, go to
football
the
done. Sorry guys, I don't have a football show, so I just need to get my opinion out because it's relevant as of the day we're recording. By Friday, it's really not relevant, but I just need to get it off my chest.
So the number today is 26, the Richard Douglas number.
Booyah. Booyah. In Deal or No Deal, they would say booyah and then they would shake the cases. Anyway.
You know what? I'm repressing that because that is so much like last week's question. I'm not doing it.
Fuck yeah, repress it.
Making it up on the fly. It's 156 now.
156. 56.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite self-care activity?
I could go dirty, but I'm not going to.
We're not talking
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say that. Self-care. You know, this is going to sound really like I'm aging, but like, bitch, a nice bath with some like I sometimes light a candle in that shit, put some music on, maybe watch something on my iPad. I know it sounds like I'm a fucking 35-year-old woman. I don't care. It's relaxing.
No,
I've got to stop myself from falling asleep
in the bath.
Because I'll die.
Yeah, no, that's not great.
No.
That's definitely not great.
But that's like it just relaxes my whole body. It's like after a long day, like you just want to just like be one with yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
A nice hot bath. And I never used to be a bath person because I used to think you're just sitting in your own filth.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've got past that now. Like people in my life have got me into certain bath salts and it really relaxes you as another human being. I know it's weird.
No,
I
it's
don't
fine.
care. Like it just makes me feel so fucking relaxed.
Yeah, I'm not a I don't have the patience for a bath.
Oh, I didn't think I did either, Ray. But then I had it one time and I was like, this was fine. And then I had it again and I was like, uh-oh. But not when it's like, I don't understand how people do a bath when it's like fucking 40 degrees outside. No.
Yeah.
Some people do. They're like, I don't have a bath every day. I'm talking like this is once every few weeks when I really fucking need to relax. But it's not a daily self-care activity. But when I do it, wow, what a time.
Yeah. I'm going to go a bit more vain. I love
Please.
getting my
You
hair
love being
cut.
recognized in public.
I've never been. Getting my hair cut.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yes.
I love getting my hair cut because I don't know about you, but I don't talk to the barber unless they talk to me.
Oh,
I won't have a chit
I
chat.
do. I have a good old chat. Good old shout out to Zach, my barber. He is a great person. He loves a good old chit chat and he does a good job of my hair. So shout out to you, Zach.
Yeah, I just sit there. It's cathartic. It's just, sit down, relax, not think about anything or think about everything and just have someone else do all the work.
I don't know. I like it. I like getting a haircut, but there is something, when you're getting a haircut and then you're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh man, I'm just sitting here like, and you don't, do you smile?
No,
I don't.
I just look into the distance and think about anything else.
Oh, I have a good old chit chat with my barber. I do like getting a haircut though. That's why I do it every 3 weeks.
Okay.
Every 3 weeks. And I go and get a haircut because I like to stay fresh, I got to look my best for the people I'm definitely not trying to impress. I'm very single, but every 3 weeks I like going and getting a haircut. So I didn't necessarily think of that as self-care, but I guess it fucking is.
Well, the way that I think about it is like I'm trying to grow my hair out at the moment. That's why I've got a bit of the backstreet backs about me.
Yeah, you do.
But it is self-care because, looking after yourself, you know what they say, you look good, you feel good, and you feel good, you play good. And if you play good...
Hell yeah.
If you play good, they pay good.
Damn, whoa, that was, holy shit. That was a lot to take in, but I'm into it.
So, yeah, I think so. I think that's mine. Do you know what I did during the week? On Thursday, after we recorded last week, I sat down to edit the episode and I was putting it all together. And I was just about to start watching something on TV, but I was waiting for my girlfriend to finish what she was doing. So I just was, you're scrolling around and I come across on Stan the CMA Awards, or Country Music Awards ceremony. And I was like, I'm going to put this on because, I love country music. I've said that.
You do.
But I haven't been listening to it. I've fully not been listening to it for probably 9 months. I've just been listening to emo or punk or, just going through your phases. So I put the CMA Awards on and the first performance started and I just felt myself get the biggest smile.
Oh, Ray.
And I was like, the insides of me lit up and I was like, oh, fuck, I've been missing this. And I've been absolutely guzzling it the last few days since I watched it. I just cannot get enough of country music at the moment. And
cool.
when I'm
hell
like,
yeah.
I was just like, I fucking missed this. Why did I stop listening to this? And it was just like, and then I'm just like, get it all back into me as much as I can, just guzzle it up. And I'm like, I never want to leave it again.
It's that almost, it's not necessarily nostalgia, but it has that same effect
Yeah.
on your body when you're like, oh my God, I remember loving this. And then you feel a certain
Yeah.
kind of way. When you do that. It's like when you watch a show that you haven't watched in like 10 years and you feel the same exact feeling when you watched it the last time. You're like, wow, this is
Yeah.
great. And then all you want to do is just consume all of that all the time.
Yeah. It was like, I just lit up and I was like, because usually if in years past when the CMA Awards have been on, I'll chuck it on. And because I consumed so much country music at the time, I know all the songs and all the artists coming up, and I'm like, I can't wait to hear this song because it's great. But now I'm like watching them perform the song and I'm like feeling it for the first time. And there was this song by Kelsey Ballerini that I'd never heard. And she sang it with an acoustic guitar, just her up on the stage, acoustic guitar and her microphone. And it was about her divorce. And she was singing this like really slow emotional song about like she doesn't she hopes that he's happy, but she hopes she never loses herself again. And it was just this most powerful message, and I had like freaking goosebumps, and I was like, oh, this shit makes me feel like this. And so yeah, I can't believe I've been missing country music so much, but I just fucking
Hell
love
yeah.
it.
Hell yeah. I love shit like that. I am a person, I don't know why, but no matter what it is, I can just eat up when someone's passionate about
Yeah.
something, or when someone tells me something about what they love. I don't care if I have no idea what they're talking about, but I'll just sit there and I'll just go, tell me more.
Yeah.
Because I love when people are happy, and I love when people are passionate about something and they just want to have a good time. And they just, when you love something and you just want to tell people, but not everyone really cares, but like you just want to talk to someone about it because you're like, oh my God, I love this so much.
Yeah.
I love when people are like that. There's nothing better to me when I'm hanging out with someone and they're like, I want to watch this or I want to listen to this. And then I have no earthly idea of what's going on. But because they're enjoying it and they're loving it so much, they want to share it with you because they want to just
Yeah.
like extend the bubble of love. I find that so cool.
Yeah.
I really do. When you get into someone's car and they're like, oh, sorry about my music. And I'm like, never be sorry about your
Yeah,
music.
exactly.
This is your time. Show me what you listen to. Like, I want to see you be happy and just enjoying and I love sharing that with other people too. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Like, please like this, or just listen, just because I like it. Let's just, I don't know. I have a good time with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've always been a little bit like, originally I was very ashamed of my country music love because it had like a real stigma to it. But now I think it's becoming a bit more cool and I don't care that much. So I'm just like, I fucking love this.
Ray, we like professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's true. There's
and I used to hide that so fucking much.
Yeah. The PC era was very much hide your WWE. But now it's
Sure, but like I always was like, oh, I can't like wrestling. People will hate me. Now I'm just like, suck me off. I
Yeah,
love wrestling.
Exactly. There was one more song that I wanted to say about. It was a song called Next Thing You Know by a guy called Jordan Davis. And it absolutely cut me to the core. I was like, I feel, when certain lyrics in a song just jump out of the song at you and just punch you in the face. So this song, as I said about country music, I love the story of a country music song. So this song starts off and it just repetitively goes, next thing you know, and it'll be like, you saying you're never going to date again. Next thing you know, you see this girl at the bar. Next thing you know. And then it gets to the chorus and it's like, next thing you know, there's a test on the bench counter and she's nodding her head yes. You're half excited, half scared to death. And I was like, oh, that one gets me. And I was like, fuck, I remember that feeling. Like, when they're just explaining a feeling you've had. And then it's like, then you're sitting there in scrubs and a cap and the doctor says, how you doing there, dad? And no one's ever called you that. And you take the drive home slow. And I was like, fuck me. Like, I remember being called dad for the first time. And I was like, holy shit. Like, he's singing something that I've felt And like,
Oh,
I was like,
oh.
and then the first time I drove Rory home from the hospital, I literally didn't get over 30 k's an hour. I was so
Because you were just
scared.
like,
I was immensely terrified. But
yeah.
so I was like, God, that song, I've listened to it near on repeat for the last 5 days because it just gets me. So, yes, country
Oh,
music back in my
I
life.
let's go on that lyric tangent here because while you were saying that, I was like, holy shit, I know exactly what song. There's a section of a song that hits me harder than ever a song has ever hit me before. I'll read the the section of the song in the third verse, and it says, I'm not going to sing it, but it just says, I spent the weekend at home again, drawing circles on the floor. Tried to keep myself from hurting. Don't know why anymore. And I don't know why that little passage of lyrics. It's a song by Hayley Williams. Did a bunch of solo work. She did a couple of albums without Paramore. This is a song called Why We Ever. And in that point of the song like shifts a little bit, and it goes from like a full instrument kind of thing to just a piano and her voice. But I don't know why that passage, like, I spent the weekend at home again drawing circles on the floor, like that just to me just make like, oh, I spent another weekend home alone doing nothing without anyone around me. And for a long time I struggled with that, still to a certain degree now, but like tried to keep myself from hurting. Don't know why anymore. Like, why the fuck am I here? Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? You know, that kind of but the first time I ever heard that, it hit me in the fucking tits. You know, when it just like hits you to the point where you just like, but I like when music does that to me. Music's like the only thing in the world that can truly just pull on my emotions whatever way they kind of want to, and it doesn't, it's not like planned. It's just like you just hear music, and songs can hit different depending on how you feel, and like, or whether you're hearing them from the first time or the 30th time. Like, it's just, music is a very powerful thing, but lyrics really get me like that, and they just kind of like that to me. I genuinely do not know why that kind of stuff, like that song in particular, hit me. But like after that little passage, it says, I just want to talk about it. I know I freaked you out. I just want to talk about it. Sorry for freaking out. Like, you know, when you're like, oh my God, I got to talk to someone about someone, and then someone's like, don't like fucking, what's going on? And then you like apologize and all that kind of bullshit. But like, when songs just hit you like that, especially from artists that you really like appreciate and value, it's just like, oh, they wrote that song for me. How'd they fucking do that?
100%. I know exactly what you mean. I thought about it tonight. I was like, I had so much planned to bring up with Pete, and then I was like, I'm sure me and Josh will fill the episode. And I haven't even got to ask you what I wanted to ask you, and we're already 30 minutes in. How'd your Christmas party go on the weekend?
Oh, man, for someone that talked a bigger game as I did, it was quite uneventful. So it was in three little sections, the night. So, well, I drove down early. We went with a couple of workmates early, and I drove down, and we had lunch in the city, and just kind of like, just, you know, fart-assed around for a few hours and just hung out when checked into our hotels. That was fine. Then we got to the escape room. We all got kind of split off into groups. I got the hardest room, and we didn't get out. I wasn't into it.
No.
Anyway, so the other two groups got out and we didn't. But anyway, that was fun. Then we went to dinner. With your
competitive side?
It wasn't great. We're in a group of 5, and every time one of the girls was like, she was like, so I was with 4 girls. And I'm talking like a range. So the youngest one was 18 and the oldest one was in their 40s. So like, there was some difference of opinions. Anytime, so the 18-year-old, all she wanted to do was just ask for help. And I was like, if you don't fucking stop asking for help, I'm going to put you in a different room. Just shut up. So I was getting fucking frustrated because she just wanted, I'm like, no, I don't want any help. I just want to do this. And then there was another one that was like, just stay calm, Josh. Just stay calm. I'm like, you better fucking fuck off too. So we got to the very last bit before like getting out. So whatever, it was what it was. It was still fun. We had a great time. We kind of sat back after the escape room for some drinks there and, you know, just kind of chit-chatted. Was great. Then we went to dinner. We went to a place in the city called Part-Time Lover.
Oh, I've
It was
heard of
very,
that.
very nice.
Yeah.
It's a good time. The vibe is really fun. It's exy as all fuck, but I didn't pay for a single tit of it, so it was great.
Yeah.
We had like the chef's menu, so they were just bringing out different stuff to try.
That's why I know.
I was into it.
Yeah.
My God, it was a good time. Drinks were flowing. We were having, you know, cocktail. It was great. We're all fucking hyping up. A bunch of us were going to go out after because, you know, there was some oldies there, so they wanted to go home after dinner.
Yeah.
So we probably sat from dinner from like, we got there about 6:30, and I think we sat there till about 9:30. So it was like a 3 hours of just hanging out, drinking, eating. Great time. So a bunch of us were like, let's go out. We're going to go to the Woolshed. As I said last week, we were all planning to go to the Woolshed. So I needed to go back to my hotel just to freshen up a little bit, you know, just do the old hair. I got to look good, you know, just think, you never know.
Yeah.
Could meet my husband out there, you know. Anyway, so we go
At
back to the
Woolshed,
hotel.
I hope
But
not.
well, I would hope not to. But listen, love can be found in very strange places.
Yeah.
Rihanna once said, we find love in a hopeless place. So, you know.
It's true.
Anyway,
When's
so
Rihanna ever lied to us?
that's so true. So the problem here's where it got a little dicey. So we're all walking back, and the ones that decided, let's do this, let's go out, we decided it would be a good idea to break up the group.
Oh, that's
and go
a
in
terrible
sections.
idea.
So I went back with one other person, and we went back to my hotel room just to freshen up, all that kind of stuff. Then we get a message from another. So we broke up probably into 4 groups.
This is disaster
One of the
signs.
girls, one of the girls was like, "We've decided we don't want to go to the Woolshed. We want to go up further to Hindley." And they wanted to go. Some people won't know what this is, but they wanted to go to Dog and Duck. I was not for it. And I was at the level of drinking where I wasn't fucking like, I'll do anything. I was kind of at that level of like, if I stop drinking now, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
If I have to walk a distance, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to go to Dog and Duck. I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to, unless everyone wants to go to the Woolshed, I'm out. At this point, it's like 10:15.
Yeah, right.
So, like, I'm at a crucial stage of the night.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
that stage of the night where it's not late enough where you're just like, whatever, I'm already out. I'm at the stage where it's like, if I have any reason to say that I'm not going to go somewhere, I'm going to go to bed.
Oh, yeah, there's a smoke bomb coming.
So she keeps telling me, no, we're going to Dog and Duck. We're going to Dog and Duck. I'm like, I need one sign to tell me that am not going to want to go out tonight. The person I'm with turns around and says to me, oh, I think I'm going to go home. So if I was going to go out, I would have to go up Hindley Street on my own, which is fine. But because I'm already looking for reasons to be like, I'm not fucking doing this.
Oh, that's a sign.
So I was
from
like,
the heavens.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, fine by me. I'm fine. I went across the street at Hindley after I dropped, said sayonara to this other person. They were like, bye-bye. I went across the street. I got a McFlurry from McDonald's.
Yeah.
I walked back up to my hotel room. I took off my pants. I got into bed. I ate that McFlurry, and I watched YouTube until about midnight.
Yeah, right.
Now, in this time, people were messaging me, come on, let's go. Like, we all were in town. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Once those pants are off and I'm eating ice cream, I'm not going out after that.
No.
I'm not going out after that. Now, I got calls all night from these girls because they were like 19 years old. And they're like, and I'm like, hey, I'm not 19 years old. I wouldn't be out until 3 a.m. even if I did go out. But I took, for someone who talked a massive game, I was asleep by 12:15. That's a sign of, listen, if this was 10 years ago, I would have been like, let's go out all night. But if I have any kind of obstacle I need to get through to go out to a club, I'm not going over it. I'm not going through that obstacle. I'm running away from it. I'm not doing that. You would understand, Ray. If there's any kind of excuse
100%.
not to go. I'm not going to go. But the
Yeah.
biggest problem we had was splitting up into groups. If we just stayed all together, we would have all decided as one and we would have all went anywhere.
Yeah.
But because we split up, that was a problem.
Oh,
And I just wasn't drunk enough to give a shit.
Yeah, splitting up was your real problem there. I reckon if you hadn't have
So it was
split up,
uneventful.
yeah, if you hadn't have split up, you would have had a fair old rip in you. I reckon you would have gone out for one of the.
I would have been awful.
Yeah,
awful on Sunday. Would have been truly awful. But I woke up on Sunday a little tired. But other than that, then the real adventure started because I spent the day at the Elizabeth Shopping Centre. So that was fun.
Nope. No, thank you. No,
Went there
not at all.
because it was just easier because the way we go home, we can go through and we're just let's just go there, have some lunch. I spent a heap of money on NBA stuff, but walking around there and then I was just like, oh. Well, luckily it was a Sunday. I'm not going to Elizabeth Shopping Centre on a Thursday night or something like that. But yeah, it was I parked my car and I was like, I'm feeling a certain kind of way about this this right now.
I would not be
But anyway.
going out there. I just wouldn't.
It's fine. The shopping centre's fine. It's actually quite a nice shopping centre.
I haven't been out there for many a year, and I won't in the next many a year.
It's fine. One day I'll take you with me, Ray.
No, it's okay. I'll take you somewhere nice, like West Lakes. You run into the occasional footballer. It's
West
fine.
Lakes is nice. I've been out West Lakes.
That's where I
fine.
go. That's my It's not my local shopping centre, but I refuse to go to the Port Adelaide shopping centre. So West Lakes is my.
Oh, I forgot you live out that way, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
The nice area.
Usually, because living where I do and just having to come into Adelaide, I usually just go to TDP.
Yeah, right. That seems.
This is such an Adelaide conversation.
That seems out of your way.
It's not because the way when I'm driving in, I can just kind of
go that way. Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of and it's unless I want to go to Elizabeth, really, it's I have to go into the city or I have to go to Marion or something like that, and I don't want to drive all that way, so I just go to TDP.
Yeah, righto. Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
What an Adelaide thing for us to talk about.
What an Adelaide chat.
People from Adelaide, people from Adelaide are going to be going
yeah.
What are you talking about?
At the moment,
whatever.
Well, it's gone now, but a couple of days ago near my house was the cruise ship infested with COVID and gastro, so that was a nice one to have at the end of the street.
Yeah, no problem. Get on that one, eh?
Yeah. So we spoke about last week. I was on my way to a golf day on Friday, which turned out to be quite the nice day. 40 degrees, perfect for golf.
Yuck. It was, how hot was it last Friday? Holy shit, Ray. It was hot. It was windy where I was. I don't know if it was windy with where you guys. It was hot, northerly winds. I was a bitch to be around. I hated it.
So it was a lovely day for me. So I'll give you the rundown of my day. So I was talking yesterday actually with a customer at work, and he was at a golf day as well, but a different one to what I was at. And
right on.
So the one that we were at had to be there at 7 till 7:30. Register. There was a little opening thing, and then golf kicked off at 8 o'clock. So, hottest part of the day, we were done before it got really hot, which was perfect. But anyway, so there's a few anecdotes from my day, but so here it goes. We'll crack through in chronological order. We get to the golf course and it's up in the hills here in Adelaide. And literally this is the most stunning golf course I've ever played on, let alone seen. You could see all the way from Hallett Cove Beach or right across to my place down the port. You could see all across the city from some of the holes. It was absolutely insane, the views.
Did you take photos?
Yeah, I'll send you one right now actually, so you can
please. I would love to look at it.
Yeah, it was stunning. And I hate using the word stunning, but that's the only way you could describe it. I'm trying to send some decent ones. You can't really see how good it is in the pictures, but
sure. But I mean, I can get a sense.
Yeah, I just sent it to you then.
Here we go. Ray sent me 2 photos on Facebook. Let's go. Oh yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I would froth that.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you can see the whole fucking city.
Yeah. You could literally see every part of Adelaide from this golf course.
Oh my God.
So we get up there to play and we start at 8:00. So we're going to the registration tent. And so when I was 17, I wasn't about 17, I was 17. I was out of school. I was just a bit of a bum teenager. And
Hell yeah.
I was playing footy at the time. And this guy at the footy club was looking for an apprentice. And he said, "Oh, do you want an apprenticeship?" I said, "Yep, sure." I didn't even know what it was until I started on the Monday. Like, I literally didn't know
Nice.
what job I'd signed myself up for. But anyway,
Sick.
so this guy took me on as an apprentice. I got to know his friends who I already kind of knew through football. One of them, his name's Sean, and he since, like, I haven't seen him for probably the best part of 10 to 15 years. But in that time, he started a golfing brand, and it's gone gangbusters. Like, worldwide recognized. They make tops and stuff, like silly little ones, and they just are everywhere. Literally, 4 of us on the golf course for this golf day were not wearing their clothes. That's how well known they are. And he was at the golf day. And so I'll go to the registration table where he's sitting. And I'm like, "Oh, Sean, how you going?" And he's like, "Oh, shit, how are you?" And so we're having a chat. He goes, "Far out. You've chunked it on since I last seen you."
Holy shit.
I was like,
You're just like getting Mr. Humbled this
Yeah.
fucking week, aren't you?
yeah. So he's going, "Oh, geez, you've..."
That must make you feel great about yourself, Ray. You were like, "Oh shit, yeah, I guess so."
Yeah, I really chunked it on, I guess. I mean, all you've done is gone and got uber rich. So fuck you, man. Anyway,
Oh wow.
yeah, that one put me back in my place. Anyway,
Yep.
we're sitting there, we're having breakfast before we go out into the course. They're just like, we're all having a bacon and egg roll and in the club rooms, and they're going through the rules of the day and what they sort of want and what the charity was for, sort of thing. And who
Got ya.
walks in? Brodie Smith, Crows player extraordinaire.
Crow's legend.
Brodie Smith walks in, and me and one of the other guys that was on my team goes, "Oh shit, there's Brodie Smith." So we're like on the lookout for Brodie. We all go get into our golf carts to go. So at a golf day like that, it will take too long if everyone waits for everyone to start at the same place. So everyone starts on a different hole. Brodie Smith's on the hole behind us. We're like, oh shit, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, we're on here. Anyway, so we play a couple of holes where I'm keeping an eye on Brodie. I'm keeping an eye to see where he is at all times. Not creepy.
I think it'd be more that I don't think it'd be like keeping an eye. You'd be like actively like, "Where's Brodie?
So
where's Smithers?"
So the 2 of us that are Crows fans are in the same golf cart, and the 2 other people on our team are in the other one. We tee off at one point, and they're coming up one hole this way, and we're hitting that way. And the guy in my golf cart hits his over to the left, right in front of their golf cart. So we have to go over and grab our ball.
Conveniently.
Well, he'd never played golf before. It was his first time playing golf, and so he just didn't hit it very well.
So it really was a coincidence.
It really was a coincidence. And we're like, "Oh, sorry guys, we're like not very good." And he was like, "Oh, is this one yours?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he like picked it up and chucked it to me. I was like, "Thanks."
You were like, "Oh my god!" You should have went up to him and be like, "I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm actually on one of the biggest podcasts in South Australia."
Yeah, we hadn't got that article yet, so
I'm Ray.
The article come out like just like an hour after that, so I couldn't have even said that.
Damn.
So anyway, I got my little Brodie fix in, and so the charity that was setting up this golf day was all about raising money for the charity, which was good cause. Why not? So as you went around to different holes, every hole was sponsored by a different company. And some of the companies had set up little stalls with like little competitions or raffles or whatever, pay a bit of money for the charity and they give you something, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the holes was sponsored by Adelaide Oval. So we get to the Adelaide Oval hole, and there's two social media people in a golf cart that they pull up at the same time. I did threaten the guy because he was flying the drone around for camera footage, and I just missed like the easiest putt all time, and he had it on the camera on the zone drone footage. I was like, "Fuck you, man!" So it was him and this girl in this cart with the drone, and we pull up to the Adelaide Oval hole, and they've got set up a raffle, and it's $5 a ticket, and that gives you 3 hand passes at a hand pass target with a footy. If you get one, you get 2 entries into the raffle for 4 tickets to in like a corporate suite for the Big Bash on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, heck yeah. So I get one of mine in, I get 2 tickets. The other guys go, one other guy in our group gets it in. And then one of the guys goes, oh, it's a bit unfair because bloody Brody Smith's coming through in a little bit. That's a bit unfair that he's going to, you know. And the girl from the social media team goes, is Brody Smith coming? And we're like, yeah. She's like, goes to the guy that she's going in the golf cart with and like, nah, I'm staying here. You go. I'm going to get a photo with Brody. She's like, do you think it's weird if I ask him for a photo? We're like, no. Like, he probably has it all the time. Like, it's fine. Like, he seems nice enough. So go ahead, do it. And anyway, we're driving off, and the guy in my car, who's a Crows fan, goes, I don't think I'd ask Brody for a photo, but if he was offering, like, I would have one. I'm like, what kind of person do you think he is that he's going to offer a freaking photo with you? I was like, that would make him like my levels, and I haven't even got to those levels yet. Tomorrow, I'm going to be like a real wanker. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brody's on his podcast talking about, he goes, Ray from the Crojet was right in front of me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go over to him and ask him for a photo, but like, maybe one day.
So anyway, we kept playing, and like the more and more we got around the course, the more stunning the views were, and it was just ridiculous. But then the sun started to come out, and it was like starting to get a bit hot. So we finished up. The other boys on the team had a fair rip by then, so they were pretty jolly. We went inside for the lunch, and they started a silent auction. Well, they started a silent auction beforehand. One of the auction items was a Crows Guernsey framed and signed by Lance Armstrong, the cyclist. And I was like, that is the weirdest thing ever. No one bid on it. No one bought it.
Why would you?
No, because it had all these photos of him like riding bikes around it. I'm like, none of these are him with the Guernsey. I sent it to...
He's also not a fucking football player.
No, I sent it to Leighton, who's the Crojack's resident like Guernsey nerd, and he was like, oh, it's a 2006 home Guernsey, but it's probably priceless because you could not pay me enough to take that Guernsey. That is ridiculous. He's like, I hate that so much. So that was funny. But then they started the real auction, and it was way out of my price range. So first off, before the auction, they got the doctor doing all the research for this charity to give like a half an hour speech about what the research was, talking with Theo Doropoulos from Channel 7. And it was like, I was way over my head. And I was like, yep, okay, cool. That's sick. And then they started the auction. The cheapest thing in the auction was a bottle of 2012 Penfolds Grange that went for $750.
No thanks. I'd have been out of there faster than you can fucking think of it. I'd have been like, sorry, I can't contribute to this. I have $5.
Yeah. I'm like, not for me. They had like a mystery wine wall, which was like $20, and you pick a mystery bottle of wine, and it could be worth something. It could be worth. I was like, I'll just do that because it makes me feel not like a cheapskate. And
I was drinking wine on the weekend. Actually, I don't drink wine.
And I don't either.
I was drinking all kinds of wine at that because it was free at that Christmas show, and I was like, I guess I drink wine now.
Yeah.
Tried red wine for the first time in my life. Disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's
truly
terrible.
One of the worst things.
Yeah.
Truly one of the worst things I've ever had in my life. There was some like white wines that I didn't mind, but I don't know. It's just like they pour it into a little, and it's like this much in the cup. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this?
Yeah.
I'm not into just sipping this. I don't drink for the taste.
No,
I'm drinking because I would like to be drunk.
no, I know.
So weird.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing on the auction item list was dinner for 10. You know those paint and sips where you go there and they paint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Hate
So
them.
this couple that were running the golf day do paint and sips from their house, which is near the golf course, which overlooks the whole city. And they do a dinner for 10 where they get chefs in to cook dinner. And then they've got their wines and they've got like the paint and sip, and you go there with 10 of your friends. And the guy that bought it the year before ended up bidding again and bought it for $4,000. And it was like a bidding war right
Why?
up to the end. Apparently, he had a great time and wanted to do it again.
$4,000 though, dude. I could like.
But that's not even the worst bit,
The
because
fuck?
there was another table bidding against him to get it to $4,000. And the guy was like, "Oh, we can do two." So they sold to the second place for 3,900 and one for 4,000 for charity. I was like, fair enough.
I mean, it's for charity, so hell yeah. But like, also like, Jesus Christ,
They ended up raising
where's that
like
kind of money?
$65,000. So it was good.
Oh well, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Not contributed to by me very much. I mean,
No,
a
but that's
couple
what
of
you
little
got your
things.
bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your bottle of wine. You're fine.
Got my-
Was it a good bottle of wine?
I don't know. I don't drink wine. I think it
Hell
was like
yeah.
champagne. It wasn't champagne, but it was bubbles. It was something bubbly.
Bose.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Before we wrap up, Bugs Bunny is in your.
Yeah, dressed
Is
as
in your. I can
Fred
see.
from Scooby Doo.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
That's such a random fucking pop. That's
he
awesome.
was the only Bugs Bunny we could find because Rory loves Looney Tunes.
Really?
Yeah, loves it so much.
Huh.
He just loves how
Right on.
silly it is, and I kind of love that he loves how silly it is.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I watched Looney Tunes as a kid, but I probably know more about Looney Tunes from Space Jam.
Yeah. The Looney Tune cartoons are like so silly, and they're probably a bit violent, but they're just silly, and they're imaginative, and they're
Yes.
creative, and they're,
Yeah.
and I love hearing him laugh to it. So it's
Fuck
all a
yeah.
good time. Actually, one last story before we wrap up. So this morning I took Rory to kindy, and every now and then we're at a distance from his kindy where it's like if you leave 2 minutes late one day, you could be 15 minutes late to drop off, because
Right.
I've got to drop him off like exactly when kindy opens to get back to work on time to start in time. So, but then other times you can leave on time and there's no traffic and you're like 10 minutes early.
Got ya.
So this morning was the no traffic morning. We get there with 10 minutes to go, and I'm like, "Oh, do you want to go for a kick?" I've always got like a footy or something in the boot, just in case. Do you want to go for a kick of the footy on the oval? Nah. I was like, "Oh, I've got a cricket bat and a ball. Let's go for a hit." He's like, "Yeah, perfect." So we take the cricket bat out and we're hitting, and his best mate and his dad rock up, and they're probably 5 or 6 minutes early. So we've only been just out there for a little bit, and his best mate come. Like, these two are inseparable. It's actually adorable how close they are. They're just both very shy kids, but as soon as they're together, they're just like a beast of a person together. And anyway, so they come running out, and his dad's like, "Oh, geez, you're trying to be dad of the year out here playing cricket at 7 a.m. with your son." And I was like, because we've gotten to know each other a little bit over the last year. And he's way better than me because he's like runs a not-for-profit organization teaching
Oh god.
privileged
okay.
kids to teach workshops to underprivileged kids. So I know-
You're a scumbag compared to him.
yeah, exactly. I think people recognize me at the footy and they don't.
Just some fucking creepy guy trying to. This girlfriend, like this guy trying to fucking hit on me.
Yeah.
Really, it's just Ray thinking he's a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. So like, anyway, so the boys are like playing cricket, and I'm like, so I was throwing it to Rory, and he can hit it pretty well if I throw it to the right spot. anyway, his little mate was like, "Oh, can I bat?" And Rory's like, "Yeah, of course," because they're so part of the not-for-profit that his dad runs is about kids helping kids. So he gets like, it's a really cool thing. He gets all the prefects and all the high ups from all the big colleges around Adelaide, who are some of the most privileged kids in Adelaide, and he teaches them skills and workshops and that, and then they present them and make workshops and present it to kids battling homelessness or refugees or just, foster kids or people that just don't have the best of lives, and they get an understanding of what it's like to actually not have the things that they've got, and so they're very emotionally aware. So his son's very emotionally aware, so which is great. I love it. And so we're like, yeah, of course you can have a bat. Rory's like, I'll bowl. And I was like, maybe I should bowl. He goes, nah, I'm bowling. And Rory's got one speed, and that is flat out all the way. First, he just throws it at his mate's head. And his mate has to duck out of the way. The ball goes out onto the road. I was like, how about I go get that and then I'll bowl? You just pick it up after he hits it. So, yeah, it was good fun. It was a great morning. It made me smile so much. Just those two were just thick as thieves. And I know how, this is what they're like together. So, usually when I drop Rory off and it's just him, he's very quiet. He won't talk to anybody. He's very shy. He'll just sort of stand in my back corner behind me, and I sort of had to coax him into going, unless it's his favorite teacher, Bonnie. Then if Bonnie's there, I don't exist to him. But if him and Jonty are there, if him and his mate are there, it's game on. And the teachers go, this one older teacher, she's not old, but she's an older one compared to the rest, is always like, oh, this is early for them too. That's what they're like, that early. But it's great to see. So
I think my favorite part of this show is genuinely just watching you talk about your child.
Oh, I love it.
Because you just you just love you. I mean, I know it's normal for people to love their kid, but you just you would do anything for Rory, and that's cool as tits. And it's just nothing matters in the world but that kid to you.
No,
which is a good thing.
Yeah,
you enjoy being a dad.
I do.
But it's just I'm just sit here and I'm just I could listen to you talk about just you hanging out with your kid and just doing dad kid things, because they're precious memories that probably in the grand scheme of things aren't that significant to him right now.
No, not at all.
It's just normal life. But for you, that's made your day.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. We're going to the rodeo this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. Get me a cowboy.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Find me one while you're there.
I'll see what
Just
I can
bring
do.
me one back. You're a celebrity, so
I'm
use your power.
E-list celebrity that thinks he's an E-list.
More of a celebrity than me. What the fuck?
So. I don't think so.
I don't know about that. Although there was this one time, I'm not actually making this up. There was this one time. This is one time that has ever happened where I've been in Adelaide and I was being served by someone at a Gloria Jeans.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They said, is your name Josh? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, I follow you on TikTok. And I was like, oh, fucking Christ. I was like, oh no. For anyone that follows me on TikTok, you know why I said, oh Christ, because I'm a bit of an uncaged animal on TikTok. But I was like, this is so uncomfortable.
Oh.
And it was just awkward. Then my card wouldn't tap properly and I had to keep standing there. And I was like, please, oh God, just get me out of here. It was so uncomfortable. But I was like, this is so weird.
So you're
but
Gloria
no, I'm not
Jean,
a celebrity.
You're Gloria Jean's famous. I'm just say dick jokes on a football podcast every now and then.
Oh, Ray, no, please not even. Do you know the talking about now? I'm just This sounds so pretentious, but do you know the guys from New Legacy Inc?
No.
They're like a wrestling video game streaming thing that started off very small and now they're huge.
Okay. Yep.
They're like probably one of the biggest wrestling related video game stream. They're a group of guys that just hang out.
Okay.
Anyway, so like about a year ago, through just people on the internet, I was able to have the opportunity to talk to like the main dude from NL.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we were in like a group setting. There was like a heap of us, and we were just all kind of chit chatting on a Discord call. And the guy that was kind of steering the conversation said to Johnny, who's the main guy from NL, they said, "Do you know who Josh Robinson is?" And my little brain burst when he said, "Of course I know who Josh Robinson is." And I was like, "What the fuck? He knows who I am." I had like a fucking fangirl moment in the middle of it. I was like, this is so bizarre that someone I've watched for so many years. But then my 2 times then, someone knew who I was. But it was really uncomfortable in the Gloria Jean setting. Like, I was not into it at all. I was like, oh, I just wanted to like abort. I was ready to just like not even worry about my coffee. But it was at the Rundle Mall Gloria Jeans, and I was like, oh, this is weird.
That's the main Gloria Jeans. You're like actual Gloria Jeans famous. You are.
Oh God, that one girl. And trust me, every time I've gone back there since, I've been like, I really hope that girl doesn't work there anymore, because she was like looking at me weird when I was making my order, and I'm like, do I have something in my teeth? Like I was like, is there something? If I got a booger, like what's going on? And then that's when she's like, are you Josh? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God. And I was like, it was so uncomfortable. But anyway, back to the task at hand. You tried to steer clear of that, but you got to find me a nice cowboy.
I will.
Probably, I would like someone on the richer side. No. Well,
Right. Yeah,
well, you know, if the boot fits.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, find me a nice. I'll take one. I'd take anyone at this point, Ray. I think I'd date a woman at this stage.
Don't do that.
I'm very single. Anyway, when this isn't turning into a Josh Robinson dating show, trust me, that won't end well. No, please don't go find me 3 people that you put behind a screen. No, thanks. I don't know how I'd feel about being set up by someone by Ray, because I don't know if we would. I don't know if we'd have. Here. Well, on SA's top podcast, maybe mention it on the Crowjet next time. Okay. There we go. We'll put that to.
I've got just the guy for you,
people. As a mutual supporter of the Crowjet, who's been on 1 episode, by the way.
Yeah.
Now I'm just clout chasing. I'm like, oh, I've been on an episode.
Yeah. That was the one that turned it. Yeah.
I know. You weren't. Well, it's not like you were noticed as one of SA's top podcasts before I was on.
That's true. It's very true.
You know, I'm known by Gloria Jean stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the person didn't recognize me because the photo in the article has like a microphone over my face.
Sure, we'll go with that. That's why she didn't recognize who you were.
Although
if that makes you feel better, Ray.
She didn't look like an advertiser subscriber, so I don't think she would have seen it. To be fair.
Yeah, you know, she wasn't in her 60s, so she wasn't reading the newspaper.
Subscription.
You don't read the newspaper, Ray.
Every weekend.
Ray.
Saturday and Sunday morning, delivered on my front door. Get the newspaper into me. And I even do the crosswords because I'm a dirty bitch like that.
Ray! Getting older and older. The more we talk in this conversation.
I do the Saturday quiz and the Sunday crossword. I know what you're thinking. Line up, ladies.
You're lucky you're taken because, my God, you'd have a huge room full of women waiting to do the Sunday crossword with you in the fucking advertiser.
The Saturday quiz is the best. I'll save it next time. We'll try have a quiz off.
Oh, God, that'll go well.
Yeah, we should.
But all right,
I'm
down. I'm down.
I'll try to remember that. Yeah.
Next week, we'll have possibly Peter. We'll have a quiz. I'll have a new rodeo boyfriend, some cowboy boyfriend. And we'll get the girl from the Gloria Jeans to come on.
Yeah, perfect.
And we'll get your biggest fan to come on. And we'll just have a big old, I was going to say orgy, but that's not what I wanted to say.
That's a lot. That took a turn.
Perhaps not. Perhaps not. But just week, like a group chat.
next week we've got a Project Live event on Monday, so check your socials for that. Watch me on that. I'll be we've got a couple of special guests lined up from like actual recognizable people, not me who thinks I'm recognizable, but actual recognizable people. So check that out on your socials. So yeah. And check out our socials. Are you coming down for it?
No, because it's just too hard. I probably could swing it.
You should. Then AFL 9's on the Tuesday night.
Fuck. I am on holidays from work, so it's not like I have an excuse.
I have a spare bed here if you want it.
Wow. Hello. Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll appear.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I got like a charity stream on the weekend with a bunch of creators. We're raising some money for just different charities. I can't be bothered explaining too much because my brain's turning to goo. I go to Melbourne in just over a week. That's exciting. But I'll talk about that more next week.
Yeah, I was talking to old Benny Mac about that on Monday, actually.
Benny
Mac, he endured a podcast with me and Elodie, who can get out of hand at points.
Really? Why would that be?
I don't know.
Elodie, by the way, who's been on this show, she's also heading to Perth for...
Yeah. Loves it. How good.
Which is just great. But yeah, me and old Benny Mac, we're going to Melbourne in just over a week.
Yeah.
Can't wait just to get away and spend a lot of money.
Yeah, perfect.
But I'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. All right. Follow our socials. Watch our YouTube.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of that jazz. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.